Hello YouTube. It's Friday evening here in just outside of LA, and we are doing another video today, a long form. Now I've generally tend to stay away from first impression videos because I feel like in order for me to give my opinion on something, I need to really test it out, and only then, once I know a little bit more about it, I tend to give my thoughts on it. But since this knife is going to undergo a lot of customization, uh, and I wanted to talk about it in its stock form first, because it's very important that we recognize the kind of differences that we have in the same company, Spyderco, within the same company, just by going through different factories that they manufacture their knives in. They have their main factory in USA, in Golden, Colorado. They have a factory in Taichung, Taiwan, which is where this knife is from. It's a very well-known factory for making some really great knives so far in the Spyderco lineup. Then you have Seki City, Japan, where you get most of the FRN models coming from. And I think they make some really great knives for the price, and the value proposition of the knives coming out of Seki City is absolutely terrific. And now they have factories in China where they're manufacturing a lot of their knives in. You'll probably know the most well-known one is probably the Tenacious. There are several others, and they're always releasing new models from their factory in China. I've heard of there being a factory in England as well, but I don't know which particular knife it is that they make, and it's probably it's not very common to see knives made out of their factory in England. So with that, let me talk a little bit about this knife. So I got this knife today. This knife was launched not too long ago, if you remember, right after Blade Show, or maybe just during Blade Show. GP Knives was the first ones to kind of bring us a little bit of an overview and videos of this knife on their YouTube channel. And since then, it's started showing up at all the major retailers of Spyderco. I bought this one from Adept Knives. Adept Knives is a very small family-owned shop here in California, and I love to support my local knife shops, so I try to buy as much as possible from Adept Knives. And also Kyle, the owner of Adept Knives, is an awesome guy. So he's done some really good things for me and my friends in the past, and continues to be one of the main source of my hobby, where I get my knives from. And so far my experience with him has been really great. So if you guys want some Spyderco stuff, he's also has some really great stock of other brands as well. So go check out his website, adeptknives.com, and show him some support. Alright, so as I was saying, this is the Spyderco Sage 5 Salt model in Magna Cut and G10. This showed up just a little bit before or after Blade Show, I can't really exactly remember. And this is a G10 model with the Caribbean style G10 scales and a black TICN blade in Magna Cut steel. As I mentioned, it's coming from their factory in Taichung, Taiwan, and it comes with a deep carry pocket clip, the wire kind. It is a full liner version, so there's liners on both sides, along with standoffs and a lanyard tube as well. This knife is came really smooth and right out of the box. As you can see, it just arrived today. I haven't done anything to it, and it's smooth, it's centered properly, drop shut right out of the box. And that's been one of my experiences with Spyderco knives from Taichung, Taiwan, is they tend to be very well put together. If you look at the scales on this model, it has got that G10 scales, right? So if you look at the scales and look at how the edges are radiused, you will not see that on any other G10 scales in the Spyderco lineup coming from let's say your the factory in Colorado. For example, I have here the Para 3 15V with me. That's another fantastic knife, and if you see the insides of that G10 scale, it's still a little bit sharp. The outside has been well radiused, and the 15V G10 is a really good example of the quality in the Colorado factory. They take really good care when they are making these 15V knives, and you can tell that from the build quality. So you will see that there's still a little bit of sharp edges on the inside of the scale, not on the outside. The outside is still radiused. But if you look at this knife here, you will see that even the insides have been knocked off a little bit. If you can see, there's this this raised edge on the inside that has been rounded off as well. So there's absolutely no hot spot on this knife at all. So when you hold this in the hand, it just feels perfect. Now, I am not a huge fan of these Caribbean style G10 scales. I feel like the grip and the texturing on them is a little bit excessive, and the only knife that I have kept these scales on is the Micro Jimbo Salt, and the only reason being that that knife is so small, you want to have as much grip as possible to keep that knife in your hands. But this one is going to get some new scales from RGT. I've already placed the order for the scales, and they're in the mail right now. So once they show up, I'll be able to do an install video and show you guys how they look on this knife. So but the factory scales are no slouch either. I mean, this is probably the best version of G10 scales that I have come across so far. The other really interesting thing is that if you look at the liners themselves, they're very well nested in, that you cannot really tell that there are liners in there, and they are the clip side liner does have some weight saving measures, some weight saving cuts in it. The lock side not so much, but even if you feel the compression lock disengaged button here, the edges have been knocked down, so you don't feel the sharp metal things that the sharp metal edges that you probably see some other knives. The Para 3 here, obviously this is the 15V version, so it's got some decent amount of stone washing, so you will not see this kind of problem in all the 15V models, because even the liners are stone washed. But if you pick up a satin version of the Para 3, you'll see what I mean, that you can feel the edges on this compression lock button. The other very interesting thing is the coating that they went with on this blade. So this is a TICN, I think that stands for titanium carbonitride. It's a very robust coating, and it's one of the hardest coatings that you can find. I don't know between this one and DLC which one is harder, but this, is quite up there as well with DLC. But while DLC is a kind of like a matte finish, this has a very well, not very glossy, but it's kind of like a half mirror finish, I would say. Like, you can still see the grind lines from when this was ground. Obviously, because this is magna cut, it's very difficult to finish magna cut properly to give it a good feel for it. So that's why you'll see a lot of people doing a coating on magna cut, even though it doesn't need it, but just to make it easier in the production to kind of finish that knife blade without going through excessive amounts of grinding. Magna cut is quite difficult to grind. So yeah, so this coating is quite distinct from the regular DLC coating that Spyderco makes, and even the TICN coating that they do on the FRN models from Seki City, Japan, is a little bit different. It's a lot more of a matte finish as well, but this one is quite quite the opposite. And that's one of the reasons why I bought this knife, is for this blade finish, because it looks very unique. I do have some plans about it. I'll probably go into that in another video, but yeah, expect to see a complete build out on this knife. So as I mentioned, it came very smooth out of the box, and no problems in the action, no lock stick at all, and it drops shut so smooth. Like, even before I go to aftermarket scale, this feels like it's properly tuned. So, and obviously thank you to Kyle for picking a good example for me, because this one is absolutely flawless. So thank you, Kyle, for taking the time to pick a good one for me. The edge obviously is very sharp. It's magna cut, and magna cut, you can get a very fine edge on magna cut steel, simply because of its toughness, and you can really sharpen it to a polish, and that's what they have seemed to have gone with. The grind lines are, I mean, they're fairly uniform just at the base here. It does look like it dips down a little bit, but that's just me nitpicking. But other than that, the grind lines look very uniform, and the edge is very nice as well. You get the standard affair in the Spyderco box. Just some paperwork, a sticker, and this bubble wrap that the knife came in. Nothing to write home about. Let's do some quick size comparisons. So I will have these laid down clip side up so that it lays flat. So let me go ahead and put it like this. So that's the Sage 5. Now this knife is very similar in size to the Para 3, and I would say from tang to tang the blade length is the same, and I would say even the edge length is almost the same. The only difference that I can tell is that the Para 3 blade has a little bit thicker stock, whereas the Sage 5 is a little bit thinner, and the shape is obviously different. In terms of the shape, the Sage 5 almost looks like it's a baby Manix 2. So if you compare the shape of the blade, you can see that it is very similar to the Manix in terms of its shape. It has that same leaf style shape. Even the point where it drops down to seems to be very similar, coming down to almost like the center point from the pivot, like almost drop down to the pivot level. So very, very similar in shape to the Manix 2 blade. All right, so let's put these away. Do we want to take a look at the weight? Yeah, let's do that. Let me pull up the scale. All right. Let's reset that. Oh, sorry, that was just the unit. How do you reset that? I haven't used this thing in a while, so oops. Okay, looks like it's reset now. So this knife as it is weighs about 3.1 ounces. Let's see if we can get a, yeah, 3.01 flow ounces. No, why does it have so many? Okay, about 90 grams. That's pretty neat. It's not as heavy as I was feeling in the hand, because in the hand it feels a little bit heavier than 89 grams. But anyways, why do they have all this stuff? Okay, 3.14 ounces. That's the weight before we get started with any kind of modifications. All right. So overall, I think I'm quite impressed with the quality that they have, consistently put out from the Spyderco Taichung factory. I have the Smock as well, which is a Taiwan blade as well, and I have the Spidey Chef. Now the Spidey Chef, I have a little bit mixed feelings about that knife. It is very well made. The blade is finished extremely well, polished to a very high degree, and the titanium scales feel very well made, and there are no hot spots in the hand and all. The only problem I have is it doesn't have a lock bar insert, so it does have tendency to grind a little bit because you have the titanium lock bar rubbing against the stainless steel blade, and most knives, even some of the cheapest frame lock models, give you a stainless steel lock bar insert so that the contact point is steel on steel rather than titanium on steel. So that's my only gripe about that knife, but other than that, it's a fantastic knife, and there's a lot of people that swear by that knife, and it has a very unique character of not only blade geometry but the steel choice. So it's a very unique product, and I haven't used it out in the field yet because it's only been with me for like maybe a few weeks, but I do intend to take it out in the field and test it out and use it to actually cook food with and food prep with it when I'm out camping. All right, coming back to this knife, I think that wraps it up. I think this is going to be a fantastic knife to have, and the build that I have planned for it, as I mentioned, it's going to get some RGT scales. I'm also going to get some lynch knot with pocket clips, which is not really much of a surprise because this wire clip's got to go. Yeah, I've ordered some titanium hardware for it as well. So all in due course of time, I will be sharing the build progress on this knife, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this build, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it as well. Do please like and subscribe my videos if you follow my content, and let me know. I mean, what kind of other videos you want to see. I've done a whole series on you know, blade and beats. As you probably know, all my shorts, I try to keep that video list updated, and I try to drop one video every day. So I hope you guys will you know, write in the comments what kind of content you guys want to see from me. That gives me some ideas, and I'll be sure to try to, you know, check it out and make some of those videos for you guys. Thank you so much for staying with me tonight, to this Friday night. If you're not out there partying already, most of you will probably see it tomorrow morning on your YouTube feeds, if you're subscribed to me. If not, then well, I hope this video does well, so that you can get a look at it as well. Well, thanks everyone for staying, and hope you have a wonderful weekend, and talk to you guys later. Bye.